Hello, everyone. I haven't updated you in a while, so I thought I would do a sit down, get ready, because I need to get myself presentable because I'm going to be seeing people today. So we're going to do a little get ready with me and I'll update you guys on everything that's been going on. So first, I've switched my cosmetics that I'm going to be using to Frankie Rose Cosmetics because they are really good for sensitive skin. And that's what I'm going to be using throughout my chemotherapy journey because I want to be really careful with what I'm putting on my face. So I'm going to be using Frankie Rose, and they offered a 20% code for you guys. So I'll put it here and I'll put it in my link tree if you guys are at all interested. And it's only going to be for the 23rd and the 24th. So they are supporting me through chemotherapy, and they knew that my first day of treatment is Monday, which is the 23rd. So that's why we're doing kind of like a extra discount. Normally it's 10%, but for 2 days, they're going to be offering 20. So I'm going to be using a few other things that are not Frankie Rose because some things are just holy grail for me. And you know, I keep it real with my recommendations. But a lot of the line from Frankie Rose, I absolutely love. So I will be starting chemotherapy tomorrow, which is Monday. So I'm going to be doing 4 rounds, 2 weeks apart from each other. One is Red Devil paired with Cytoxin. So I believe it's the ACL or ALC. I don't remember the acronym. You guys, when it comes to cancer and treatment, there's like so many acronyms for like literally everything. And at this point, like I just can't keep up with the acronyms. So it starts tomorrow. I will also be cold capping. So I will be sharing that journey with you guys as well to try to preserve my hair. So I am one of those people that if there's something I could try, I'm going to try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I am completely comfortable with having no hair for a limited time. I have come to that peace. And, you know, if there is a way that I potentially could save my hair, I'm going to try everything I can to do that. But if I can't save it, it's not the end of the world. So I have a fun day lined up. Well, last night I went to a Halloween party and that's exactly what I needed. I needed to, you know, get out of the house, talk to people, not talk to people about cancer, talk to people about other things I ran into. I met 2 hospice nurses last night and I was able to kind of pick their brains about it because if you guys didn't know, I finished college back in May and I've been trying to figure out like what I want to do. And my career path is kind of on 2 different spectrums. So I've always had a interest in the death and dying phase of life, but I also really love kids, so specifically preschool age kids. So it's either a preschool teacher or working somewhere in the hospice realm. I just don't know what I want to do as of yet. So I was able to talk to a few hospice nurses, and when I'm well enough, I absolutely will consider volunteering at a hospital with hospice care to see if it's something that I would be a good fit for. Now, I already have been doing childcare for a gym, so I already know that I enjoy children. I mean, I have to have 4 of my own, you know what I mean? But it's just to keep that door open. So with me starting chemotherapy, it's been a lot. So I've been preparing. I literally filled my whole entire week with things to do, fun things to do. I don't know if I did that self-consciously because I really didn't want to face the truth of what I'm about to go through because I really haven't had much time to like stop and think about it. So that's what's telling me that subconsciously I was trying to, you know, fill my brain with other things and my schedule with other things. So I didn't have time to actually think about it. All right. So previously I did kind of like an eye brightener, but I love the concealer from Frankie Rose. It is nourishing. It is hydrating. And it has a nice like yellow undertone, which complements my skin tone very well. And it helps mask the purple I have underneath my eyes because hereditary, when it comes, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to dark circles, some people are just more genetically prone to them. And that's been my case for a long, long time. I have always had dark circles. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get. I've just always had more darkness in my inner corner. But luckily we have tools to fix that. So the Frankie Rose concealer is really good. My shade is Angelic. So if you're similar skin tone to me, I would highly recommend that shade. Okay, so what were we talking about? We were talking about me filling up my schedule to not have to think about the fact that I am going to be going through chemotherapy tomorrow. So one thing you guys may not know about me is I absolutely detest needles. I mean, really? I mean, who really loves needles? You know what I mean? I know I don't. I mean, I have 2 tattoos. I still hate needles. I've birthed 4 kids and have had 4 epidural needles, but even now, like, I'm not a fan, you know what I mean? So not a fan about the IVs tomorrow. I'm not a fan of what these drugs potentially could do for me or do to me. But how I am managing, so if you're someone who is starting chemotherapy, maybe it's your first infusion, I would recommend just, if you can, the week before, just kind of prepare everything, you know, like get your house in order. For me, I finished all my kids' Christmas shopping. I finished my kids' Christmas shopping back in like September. I also got their Halloween costumes. I have everything lined up for it. Make sure you go through your kids' school emails, like if there's anything you need to send money for, or if they're having an event at school. So my kids have a fun run coming up. So I needed to make sure they have everything that their room moms have asked for, sending out the donations, making sure I tie up any appointments they may have needed, like my orthodontist appointments, doctor's appointments. I got all of those out of the way last month before I had surgery. So my kids are good for the dentist for 6 months now. My kids are good for their doctor's appointments now. And that is so important so that you don't have to worry about that when you need to take care of yourself. Something else that's going to be helpful is the fact that my mom is here now. So she'll be here for about 2, maybe a little over 2 weeks. So she was here when I had my surgery to help me recover. And now my mom is here. So accept the help. I know it's not fun, you know, to have someone in your house for long, stays, especially if you're the spouse on the other end. Like, it's kind of daunting to think, oh man, my mother-in-law is going to be here for another 2 weeks. Believe me, we kind of went back and forth with that, and I understood my husband's point of view where he's like, oh, I kind of want my, my house, my space, all that. But I tried to explain to him that, it's going to be more good than bad. And yeah, so she's here to help, with the kids, so that if I just need to sleep in, I don't have to worry about getting the kids ready for school, and my husband can focus on work because he is our primary breadwinner. So he needs to continue working, and I need to make sure that I get the amount of rest I need. So that's the benefit of my mom being here, is that she can help me with that. And I am so blessed that I even have that option, because I know not everyone has that option. So I am contouring with my Frankie Rose contour palette, which I absolutely love. I actually like this better than the Anastasia one, to be honest. So my favorite shade in this contour palette is the Sultry Glow. And what I love to do with this is I'll tap it on a big fluffy brush, and I'll kind of just like tap it in to my T-zone area, and it gives your skin that like angelic glow from within look. And this is like my go-to signature like glow. You guys are like, oh, Gina, you're glowing. It's not me, it's Frankie Rose. So we're gonna have to go to part 2 because there's a lot to talk about. Preparing for chemotherapy, part 2. Everyone is gonna have their own limits when it comes to how they wanna handle their chemotherapy journey. For me, I went back and forth on if I wanted to work or not. And after consideration from talking with my husband, talking with my in-laws, and we just decided as a family that being in my current work environment, so I do childcare for a gym, we just didn't think that that was the right move for me because an infection, a fever of 100.4 is going to send me to the urgent care. So with us entering the cold and flu season, it just was not a good idea for us to be even messing around with that. You know what I mean? It's like, I already have cancer, so why do I need to put myself at risk anymore? And this was such a hard thing for me to do because, one, I love my job. I love the kids that I have gotten to know, and it's really sad to me that I'm not going to see them for a while. But when it's safe for me to return, I absolutely will. My work is very supportive of my journey, and they understood. So I will not be working for about 6 months. So, you know, when you guys shop my links, when you guys use my referral codes, especially with Frankie Rose, it does help support our family. So I just want to give you guys a big thank you in advance. If you shop my links, if you use my referral codes, we are so grateful. We also have a spot fund. We also have a Amazon wish list. So all of that stuff combined helps us so much, and we are so grateful to the help. But we are also grateful for the kind messages, the encouragement, the prayers. Those are just as good. There's a lot of information when it comes to chemotherapy, the things you can do, the things you can't do. And what I have realized is it's better for me not to ask opinions of people who have already gone through chemotherapy, except for like certain things I've asked, but in terms of like overall, like, how are you feeling? How did you feel? I am taking this as if I know nothing about it. Because that's honestly how it could be. Like I could have zero symptoms. I could have minor symptoms. I have no clue. But the thing I don't want to do is go into this whole entire experience anticipating symptoms, because I don't know if you guys remember this from back in the pandemic. It's like you would get it in your head. Like if you were around someone that was exposed, or maybe someone who has had it, then you're like, oh man, my throat hurts. Oh my gosh, I have it. You know, and that was me too. Like I did that too. And a lot of times I would often test, and most of the time I was fine, or I just had like a minor cold. So, you know, I'm going into this with a good mindset. I'm going into this not panicking, and we will just see what happens, because that's all I can do. All I can do is just wait and see and have a good attitude. So that is what I'm trying to do. And I know there's going to be days where I probably won't feel well. I know there's going to be days where that's going to be easier said than done. But on those days that I'm not doing well, that's when I reach out to my support system. That's when I reach out to my friends and say, hey, not doing well today. And for those who know me, the best thing to turn my day upside down is to send me a funny dog video. And that's exactly what my community does. When they see like a funny dog video, they're like, oh, Gina's gonna want to see that. So make sure you let your people know what you need when you're not feeling the best. You know what I mean? So I'm also getting my house sanitized on Tuesday. So I'm having a cleaning crew come in and do a real good clean sanitize of our living everywhere. Like the whole entire house is going to get sanitized, and it's going to be easier to keep up the cleanliness of the house with someone professionally coming in and doing it. It's not going to be a habit because, you know, I don't have that kind of money to be having a, you know, monthly house cleaner come in, but I can do it for one time to make my first few weeks on chemotherapy a little bit easier. What else? I'm also going to be really careful about my foods and what I'm eating, what I'm putting into my body. I already got chemotherapy approved nail polish, and I switched out the skincare I'm using, and I have a lot of stuff I'm going to be sharing in the future, because I have been so blessed to have so many people reach out during this time asking, can I send you this? Can I send you that? Do you want to try this? I'm all for it. I'm all for trying this because I want to know that if you are watching this video and you're just diagnosed, I want to have this like Rolodex of information that I can give to you guys. It's kind of like a virtual, I don't know, a virtual, what would you say? How would I say this? Like a virtual like phone book. It's like a virtual referral list for all things cancer, you know what I mean? And I've done a lot of research on the brands that I have chosen to partner with. I have researched a lot on the brands that I've chosen to recommend to you guys. And yeah, so I also got my eyebrows microbladed a few days ago. It's definitely toned down a lot. When I first got them, it was just kind of like, I remember, so I went to go visit my dad, and he was just kind of looking at my eyebrows. He's like, what did you do to your eyebrows? And I was like, Dad, don't worry. It's gonna fade. It's not gonna be this dark forever. But he was so sweet at the same time because he was trying, you know, not to hurt my feelings, but at the same time, he's like, what did you do to your brows? But anyways, right now I'm putting in my hair growth active, and this is sold by Chemo Hair, Skin and Nails. They sent this to me, so I'm on a regiment. So twice a day, I'm spraying this into my scalp and rubbing it in. And this is going to help my hair follicles, because I will lose hair. I am going to lose hair. Just because I'm cold capping doesn't mean I'm not going to lose any hair. Let's face it, I'm going to lose some hair. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing. It's part of the process. I have taken control of my chemotherapy journey, and there are things I control. I can't control getting cancer, but I can control trying to keep my hair, if you know what I mean. But as always, I am running late, so we are gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get dressed for church, and I'm gonna have a good day. And I hope you guys have a good day too. So again, I have a link to Frankie Rose Cosmetics in my link tree. And if you use my code, you will get 20% off instead of 10% off. So I hope you guys have enjoyed me sharing a little bit of my Frankie Rose Cosmetics and the look I went for today. And when you're watching this, today is my first day of chemotherapy. So send me all the good vibes.